This is Brandon with Fleet Feet, and today I'm going to be talking to you about a new special shoe from HOKA, and that is the HOKA Skyflow. Here is the women's colorway, here is the men's colorway, and let's dive into it. The HOKA Skyflow is a premium daily trainer, and one of the best ways to describe this shoe is that it is a blend of the Clifton and the Mach. The Skyflow is cushioned like the Clifton, but has all of that responsiveness and a supercritical EVA similar to that of the Mach, making it that perfect blend. But one of our reviewers, Caroline, did say that while the Clifton is the classic daily trainer and the Mach is the up-tempo daily trainer, we were just kind of a little bit skeptical on where this fit into line, and does the Skyflow fall more into the daily trainer category? Does it fall more into the more propulsive and energetic, faster category? Well, it actually falls in between as a premium daily trainer. So it is a daily trainer that has a little bit more bells and whistles to it, and it has more premium materials. So let's move forward and dive into the upper. The upper is made up of a Creel Jacquard mesh upper. This isn't the first time we've actually seen this in HOKA shoes. They've been using Creel Jacquard mesh uppers in some of their other models as well. It also has this reflective film taping that goes around the tongue, so at night, for a little bit more visibility when you're running on the roads, this area of the tongue lights up, which I think is pretty neat. In between that film, you have a pretty padded tongue, which is well gusseted for a really nice midfoot lockdown and wrap. Overall, there was a little bit of discourse from the Fleet Feet review team, and we had a bunch of different varying opinions on how we felt about the fit. Our lead editor, Caroline, actually goes a half size down in all of her HOKA products and found that that fit her really well and true to size. And our other reviewers, Travis and Mandy, got their normal sizing and found that this fit really well and snug on their foot, true to size. But for me, I just found that it was just a little too big and too long, especially around the toe box. Since all of us had different opinions or situations on where we felt we landed on the fit, I would definitely recommend going into your local Fleet Feet store, trying the shoe on for yourself, and finding out what size is right for you. This shoe is also available in wide, so for those who have wider feet, this shoe should be able to accommodate that really well. And beyond that, there aren't really too many other big points to note about the upper of this shoe. It is quite breathable, it felt really good on foot, and I had no issues overall, and the rest of our review team did enjoy it. Now, let's move down to the midsole. The midsole of this shoe is actually loosely inspired off of the same geometry of the Skyward X, that shoe right there. And to be fair, I do think that there are some similarities between the Skyward X and this shoe, and it definitely feels like there's a nice roll through sensation similar to the Skyward X. And that is due to the smooth meta rocker technology that is found not just in the Skyward X, but in this shoe as well, the Skyflow. The midsole is also made up of a supercritical EVA, which is the same foam that you can find in the Mach 6. So if you're someone who really enjoyed the sensation of the Mach and you are looking for something that just has a little more of an elevated and a little bit more cushioned feel than the Mach, then the Skyflow is a good option. The drop of the shoe comes in at 5 millimeters with 38 in the heel and 33 in the toe for the women's model, and 40 in the heel and 35 in the toe for the men's model, which is a similar drop to a lot of the other shoes you're gonna find from HOKA at 5 millimeters. One of our reviewers, Mandy, actually tested this shoe out for herself, did a few jogs, a few runs, and walked around in the shoe, and found that the shoe was not as squishy as some of the other HOKA shoes that she usually runs in, but this is actually something that she preferred, and she found that as she was going through and walking or running in this shoe, she found that it was just very stable, and there was a nice platform for her to land on. She also noted that just the wide base alone on this shoe just really kept from making sure that her foot is stable and just wasn't rocking back and forth in one way or another. Both Caroline and myself agreed that this shoe is a nice blend of both the Clifton and the Mach. It's a little bit more firm than the Clifton, but it's a little softer than the Mach series. If you're someone who's a fan of the Clifton and you're looking for a little bit of an elevated version of that shoe, just a bit of a faster and firmer ride, then I think that this makes a lot of sense. It's basically an upgraded version of the Clifton and a nice introduction to that of the Mach. And the outsole of this shoe is actually made of high abrasion rubber. The rest of the review team and I had no issues with traction, so there weren't too many things to note here, but there is a ton of rubber coverage, more than we typically see in a lot of other HOKA shoes. So in terms of durability, we think you're going to be just fine. And again, not just myself or Caroline or Mandy felt this way, but Travis included found that the wide base just created a very stable platform and ride when running in this shoe. Now moving on to the ride and performance. Like we already know, there is a meta rocker in this shoe, and Mandy really enjoyed that part of it, and she found that it just kind of pushed her forward and kept her moving through her stride. It was something that was a little bit more effortless than a lot of other shoes that she's running. She didn't have to think about the miles, and they just kind of flew by as she was going through her run. I found that this shoe was just slightly firmer than that of the Clifton, but not a firm shoe overall. I still think this is a very well cushioned and soft shoe, which is something that I prefer. And I think that it still provides a nice pop on foot while still maintaining a very stable feel. I personally think that this is a great shoe for a lot of daily training miles, and I think you can get a lot done with it, especially if you're someone who thinks the Clifton's just a little bit too soft and you want to get up and pick up the pace a little bit more. Then I think the Skyflow is a great option for that. Now, the Skyflow comes in at a weight of 8.8 ounces or 244 grams for the women's model and 10 ounces or 280 grams for the men's model. So it is a little bit heavier than both the Clifton and the Mach. And the Skyflow is priced at $160, which is pretty in line with a lot of the other premium daily trainers from some of the other brands like the On Cloud Eclipse at $180 and the Saucony Triumph 22 at $160. Overall, the Fleet Feet review team did enjoy this one and found that if you are someone who's looking for a nice blend of both the Clifton and the Mach, then the Skyflow is a good bet. With its wide base, it is very stable, and with the supercritical EVA, you're just gonna get a little bit more pop and a faster sensation than that of the Clifton, but you're gonna get more cushion than you would in the Mach. If there are other shoes that you'd like for us to compare this one to, please let us know and drop it in the comments below. And if you like this review, make sure to give it a like and comment below what you liked about it and if you want to hear more. And if you're still wondering whether this shoe is right for you, you can go stop into your local Fleet Feet store, go get your foot scanned, go through the Fit ID process and the outfitting experience and find out exactly what shoe is right for you. Or you can go on fleetfeet.com, you can check out the shoe for yourself and hear more thoughts from Travis, Mandy, Caroline, and myself, and whatever the rest of the review team has to say about it. And as always, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel, and follow us on all of our social media platforms like Instagram, Strava, Facebook, and wherever else we might be.